Someone says something, and before you've even decided how to respond, your chest tightens, your jaw clenches, your face gets hot. You're already angry before you chose to be. And the strangest part? You're the last to know. Your body launches into reaction while your mind is still catching up. You tell yourself you'll stay calm this time. You've prepared. Then, your coworker makes that comment. Your partner uses that tone. And suddenly you're saying things you'll spend the next 3 hours regretting. We practice staying calm all week. Then someone cuts us off in traffic and suddenly we're auditioning for a true crime documentary. This isn't a character flaw, it's a pattern. And patterns can be interrupted. Chapter 1. The speed problem. When someone triggers you, your body reacts faster than you can think, faster than you can reason, faster than you can choose. By the time you're aware you're upset, you're already in it. Your thinking brain shows up late, like a friend who texts, "almost there," when they haven't even left. This is why telling yourself to calm down in the moment rarely works. By the time you're giving yourself the advice, the reaction has already started. Think of it like a smoke detector that can't tell the difference between your house burning down and slightly burnt toast. It screams either way. So when someone sends a passive-aggressive email, your body responds as if you've been challenged to a fight. This isn't a flaw, it's just how we're wired. But knowing this gives you an advantage. Chapter 2. Recognizing your state. At any given moment, you're in one of 3 modes: activated, heart racing, muscles tense, ready to argue or flee. That's the state of reaction. Settled, breathing steady, body relaxed, thinking clearly, responding instead of reacting. That's the state of choice. And shut down, numb, foggy, exhausted, checked out after a long conflict. That's not calm. That's collapse. Most people think they only have 2 speeds: stressed or relaxed. But really, you have 3, and most of us are stuck on shuffle. The goal isn't to always be settled. The goal is to recognize which mode you're in right now, because you can't change what you can't see. Chapter 3. The 90-second window. Here's something most people don't know. When a strong emotion hits, the intense physical part lasts about 90 seconds. That's it. Your heart pounds, your hands shake, and then, if you don't add fuel, the intensity fades. 90 seconds is shorter than most microwave meals. So why does anger last for hours? Because we refresh the page. Every time you replay the conversation, you restart the clock. Every time you imagine what you should have said, you extend the feeling. Every time you tell someone else about it, you reactivate the whole thing. The emotion wants to end. You're the one keeping it alive. After 90 seconds, continuing to feel it becomes a choice. Chapter 4. The exhale. Everyone says to breathe when you're upset. And if you're like most people, that advice has felt useless. Like telling someone drowning to just swim. Technically true, practically worthless in that moment. But there's a difference between breathing and breathing with intention. The key is the exhale. When your exhale is longer than your inhale, your body starts to settle. Not because you're forcing calm, but because slow exhales signal to your nervous system that the threat is over. Try box breathing. 4 counts in, 4 hold, 4 out, 4 hold. But practice it when you're calm, not when you're already flooded. You're not learning a technique, you're building a reflex. Chapter 5. Emergency moves. But what if you're already there? Heart pounding, hands shaking, head foggy. When you're already activated and breathing feels impossible, go physical. Your body got you into this state. Your body can help get you out. Splash cold water on your face. Press something cold against your wrists or the back of your neck. Cold interrupts the pattern. It pulls you out of your head and back into your body. Another move. Use your senses. Name 5 things you can see, 4 you can hear, 3 you can touch, 2 you can smell, 1 you can taste. This isn't distraction, it's redirection. You're anchoring back to what's actually happening right now. Chapter 6. The story. You're running. You're not triggered by what people say. You're triggered by what you believe their words mean about you. Someone criticizes your work. The words are just sounds. But if those sounds mean you're not good enough, if they confirm something you feared for years, now you're triggered. The event and your interpretation of the event are not the same thing, but we treat them like they are. What if the person who snapped at you is exhausted from something you know nothing about? What if their criticism says more about their fears than your actual work? This isn't about excusing bad behavior. It's about freeing yourself from carrying weight that was never yours. The story you run determines how long you stay triggered, and you're the one writing it. Chapter 7. What you actually control. Some things are within your control. Some things are not. Your thoughts, your actions, your responses, yours. Their thoughts, their actions, their reactions, not yours. The moment you start trying to control what you can't control, you've already lost your peace. You can't make someone understand you. You can't force someone to be fair. You can't control whether they apologize or see your point. You can only control what you do next. You can be right or you can be free. Rarely both. Sometimes the most powerful thing you can do is release your grip on something that was never in your hands. That's not giving up, that's growing up. Chapter 8. When they're doing it on purpose, sometimes it's not accidental. There are people who know exactly which buttons to push because they've been watching you for years. But here's the truth. They're not pushing your buttons. They're pushing buttons that were installed long before they showed up. Every trigger you have is a wound that hasn't fully healed. They didn't create it. They just found it. When you can see the pattern, it loses its grip. You become the observer instead of the participant. Seeing it is protection, and once you see it clearly, you can choose to unload. Chapter 9. The Gray Rock. When someone feeds on your reactions, try becoming a gray rock. Uninteresting, unreactive, short, neutral responses. No defending yourself, no emotional reactions. Give them nothing to work with. People who try to trigger you are looking for engagement. Negative attention is still attention. Your anger is still energy they can use. When you become boring, you become useless to them. The best revenge against someone trying to trigger you is a genuine yawn. Gray rock is not a personality. It's a tool for specific people in specific situations. Sometimes the most powerful statement is no statement at all. Chapter 10. Naming what you feel. There's a moment in every trigger when the emotion is overwhelming but undefined. You just feel bad, upset, off, but you can't name exactly what it is. And that vagueness gives it power. When you name an emotion specifically, something shifts. The feeling doesn't disappear, but it becomes more manageable, more contained, less overwhelming. Don't just say you're upset. Are you disappointed, humiliated, afraid, feeling dismissed, unappreciated? Each of those is different. Each points to something specific. Each, once named, loses some of its grip. Name the feeling, and it starts to lose its teeth. Outro. If you made it this far, you already know something most people don't. That staying calm isn't about having no reaction. It's about knowing what to do when the reaction comes. And now you have the tools. So the next time someone pushes your buttons, your chest tightens, your face gets hot, you'll remember. Catch it, anchor, label, master. 90 seconds. You can survive 90 seconds. If this video helped you, hit that like button. It tells me to make more of this. Subscribe if you want to keep leveling up your mindset and your people skills. And drop a comment below. Tell me which chapter hit you the hardest. I read every single one. See you in the next one.